Well, to begin with this video, I want to talk about relative clauses. As you can see, we use defining relative clauses to give essential information about the person, thing, place, time, or reason in the other half of the sentence. We have two forms. As you can see, we use who and that for people, which and that for things, whose for possession, where for places, when for times, and why for reasons. And the second one say that instead of when or where, we can use which and that. I add some notes in these relative clauses. One note says that in defining relative clauses, we can omit who, which, or that when followed immediately by a noun or pronoun. Also, the second note that I want to say is that we don't use commas in defining relative clauses. Here we have some examples of relative clauses. And the first one is that the device that she invented. The second one, that's the device which I use the most. And the last one, that's the year when I was born. Well, now I want to talk about non-defining relative clauses that are really different about defining relative clauses. The use. We use defining relative clauses to give extra non-essential information about the person, thing, place, or time in the first half of the sentence. The commas work in a similar way to a parenthesis, showing that the information is non-vital to the sentence. Form. We use who for people, which for things, whose for possession, where for places, and when for times. We don't use that in non-defining relative clauses. We cannot meet the relative pronoun or adverb. We always use commas in non-defining relative clauses, and we can use which to refer back to the whole of the sentence. I add an example that is people spend all their money on mobile phones, which I think is ridiculous. Well, now I want to talk about gerunds and infinitives. Some notes are that some verbs go with the gerund or the infinitive, and there is no difference in meaning. But in other verbs, there is an important difference in meaning. I add some examples that I want to say that the examples that are underlined with blue are in infinitives, and the examples that are underlined in red are gerunds. Stop to do. The meaning is that you stop one activity because you want to or need to do another activity. And in gerund, stop doing, the meaning is that you are doing something and then you stop. Now with remember to do is when you remember you need to do something and then you do it. And remember doing with gerund is that you do something and then you remember it later. Now with forget, the examples. In infinitive, forget to do, the meaning is you don't do something that you intend to do. And in gerund, you did something but now you don't remember it. Now with like to do, the meaning is you do something because you think it's a good idea. And like doing is when you do something because you enjoy doing. Well, now in the vocabulary part, this is the first part, everyday technology. So these are the words, the vocabulary words, and then there are the examples. I want to say that I underline with red the examples, the vocabulary words in the examples. So yeah, now I want to say the examples. Internet connection via broadband offers many advantages. I lose my charger. There was a massive coverage of the game. He handed the device to her. I want to buy a digital camera. I like to use headphones in my house. I was expected to familiarize myself with the keyboard. This is the newest microwave. The show is getting good rating of the network. Tom plugged in the TV. She can't find the remote control. You could even watch her on the webcam. I'm provided with wireless stations. I like when the TV has touch screen. And the last one, the glitch will cost a lot of health and kill your player if you don't have enough. Well, now the second part of the vocabulary, that is phrasal verbs connected with technology and computers. I want to say that I say this. I do the same thing. These are the vocabulary words and they're the examples. I underlined with red the vocabulary words in examples. So let's begin. I'll have to call you back later because my battery's running out. My phone isn't picking up a signal. Don't forget to back up all your documents. An alarm goes off when you press this button. Can you print out a copy for me? This device runs on batteries. To boot this app, you have to set up an account. The image is really small, so you need to zoom it. Use the mouse to scroll up, down, or across. A voice suddenly popped up on the screen. Well, that's all. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If it's that, give me a like and see you.